And hello again. Here we are, you filthy bunch of pig dogs, and we have the Duel League rule sheet. I will leave links below, but I'm going to be going through now the main Duel League, the meat and two veg of what this is all about. So, as you may or may not know, it's going to be split into three regions: Europe, Americas, and the rest of the world. As current, the European League, the competitive league, or the higher skill level league, as I call it here, is pretty much done and dusted. Again, more teams can enter. I think we've got 9 teams. There's not been any new entries as of yet. So we do need to get an even number. So keep that in mind. Try and get in as soon as you can. So if one more team signs up, then have 2 groups of 5. Then if we get a few more, then I'll be splitting it up. I'm kind of hoping to get 12. Then it'd be like 3 groups of 4 would be nice, or even 16. But that might be a little bit over ambitious. But we shall see. We shall see. The Americas has been very quiet on this front. I've been trying to stoke up a bit of interest, and I will continue to do so. Yeah, posting this on my YouTube channel now, where there's quite a number of Americans, or in the Americas region, who do watch the YouTube vids. So hopefully some of those will get involved and sign up for this. Again, I think there's 2 teams involved at the moment, like for absolute certain, and they are both really quality teams, like highly competitive players. And there's a couple of teams in the like lower level where it's going to be a bit more handicap system going on, which I'll explain shortly. Rest of the world, that's going to be my region because I'm in Vietnam, and there's my team, and that is all. There's one of the guy who said he's going to make a team, a guy called Sin. So possibly there might be 2 of us, but it's not going to go ahead. If the competitive league, there has to be a minimum of 4 teams really, or it won't happen. Hopefully get a couple of Chinese teams jump in, or some Aussies or something, or maybe someone on like the west coast of America who it suits their kind of timeline. But yeah, it will be tricky. It'll be tricky, but we'll see. There was a couple of Indian players around a while back, I remember, some guys from Indonesia. So yeah, we might make the numbers up for that. For the lower level league for the rest of the world, probably not going to happen. It's looking quite bleak there, to be honest. The Europe lower level, again, there's a couple of teams in there, and only need 2. I will sort out a campaign. You can have fun with that. Be great. I do recall Mr. Yogdog said he was interested in it. He might give it a look, so that might be boosted up to 3 teams in the European for the lower level. Or actually, Yogdog was more interested in the Super Noob League, I think. He's like super casual player. Anyway, now I've written here. Oh, of course, very important. Yeah, unlike other tournaments, there will be 1 game per match. So it's not like a best of 3. It's not a best of 2 like in the SDL. It's just you play 1 game against your opponent, and that's all. You either be a home game or an away game, and then everyone plays each team once. We get to the halfway point in the season, then repeat again. Do not play the same team twice in a row. The second game will not count unless we've gone past the halfway point in the season. I want to make that very clear. And it's going to be using I'm jumping ahead of myself. Anyway, also teams here can have a multiple reserve players. I actively and very definitely encourage this. You want to be having, I would say, ideally 3 to 4. I'm willing to accept a minimum of 2 players for committed teams. But in terms of scheduling, it's just be a pain when like 2 people turn up and then there's just one person of a team and they can't get hold of their teammate. If you've got a reserve hanging around, maybe a couple of reserves, they can just step in and play the game and get it done, because you don't want to keep people waiting. It's just rude. Sometimes it happens, you know. Real life is real life, obviously. But for those reasons, try, even if you're absolutely sure, like both of you are super committed, it's not going to hurt to just ask a buddy somewhere, you know, I know you're not interested in this league so much, do you mind just being a reserve just in case? You might have to play in 1 game, possibly. I'm sure I'd be okay with it. Anyway, so there's the higher skill level, and there is the lower skill level. The difference between these, the lower is going to be a handicap system, which I will explain shortly. I've already gone through Super Noob and Casual, so let's leave that. So I've got the Discords here as well. So if you're not part of the Discord, you need somebody on your team to be part of SDL Discord if you are in these upper tier leagues. Okay, boot camp for the lower tier and for the super noob. And here we've got the Duel League sign up forms, which I believe I kind of messed it up a bit. Now that you should be able to get onto this properly. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. My mistake there. Made a botch up. Shock horror. Alright, and the format. Important as well. It's basically, let's say, standard game setup. Home team though will have the choice. They can use deployment as 500 points instead of what is usually set as a 750. That is the home team's choice. Make that very clear, the home team's choice. And the time limit is 50 minutes, and it's going to be the usual built-in clock, and this will determine, so you will know at the end of the game, it will say win, draw or loss. And I should actually edit this now, or I will add it in later, make it very, very clear. So if you win, because a lot of people don't understand how this works, funnily enough. I didn't for a while. So a win means you're ahead in tickets and you're ahead in flags. If you are equal on either one of those, it will count as a draw. Okay? That's very clear. So the tickets, as in the bar that goes down, if yours has to be higher than your opponent's and you have to have more flags, then you get the win. If one of you, if one of those are not met, one of them is equal, say it's like 12-12, or the tickets are identical, which is highly unlikely to happen, then it's going to count as a draw. Now, if you've got less tickets than your opponent, your bar is further down, and you have less flags, then obviously it's a loss. So the incentive here being, you get 3 points for the win, so you're going to be wanting to push more for the win. Rather, getting a draw is just 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. And yeah, with a 50-minute time limit, it is going to add a lot of spice to the game. If you have the 500 point as well, this will give incomes like Vanguard and Maverick a bit more of an oomph to help you out. Now most tickets are, let me just correct this. Where is it? Yeah. So a win, most tickets and flags. Draw, most tickets or flags, and loss, least tickets and flags, if that makes sense. So if there's just one of them, I should actually put that in bold just to make it clearer. Hopefully you're good enough at logic to get the general idea of what they mean. Whoa. And let's get the bold in the D. There we go. Alright. Now if a team drops out during the season, then all their games will be voided and hopefully find a replacement. And maybe, like I was saying, we've got 9 teams at the moment in the European competitive, so I'm probably only going to have 4 in each group as things stand at the moment, but we're probably going to get a couple more sign-ups. So in those cases, then the reserve could step in. We'll see how that goes. League structure, just been talking about that already. Let's move down. I say, oh yeah, just if there's like 2 groups of 4, then they're going to have like, you know, probably a semi-finals where the winner from one group plays the second place from the other group, and vice versa, and then a grand final. Now, yeah, game rules, yeah, don't be a complete dick, that's kind of obvious. Now, the pick and ban is a little bit different too. So first of all, maps. So this is a command you can use. It's rmap get 5, so rmap space get 5 space 2v2. This will give you 5 random 2v2 maps. Then team 1 will ban 1 map. Yeah, team 2 I've put as a home team here. So the team, then before we do this, team 2 decides whether deployments are set to 500 or 750. So this is the first thing you're doing. If the home team forgets about this before we start with the bans, then it's on them. It's too late. You can't go back and change it. So team 1 bans a map, team 2 bans a map, and then team 1 bans another map, and then there's going to be 2 maps remaining, and this is going to be home team, so they're going to get to pick which map they're playing on. Then the away team does get another advantage though. Let's get rid of this. It is set in stone now. It's done. So T1 picks a faction, T2 picks a faction. A mirror is allowed, but it's not optimal, as you will see. So Team 1 selects 6 divisions they wish to play out of all the divisions in that faction. Then Team 2, the home team, will pick 6 divisions they wish to play. No mirror division selections. And again, if they're picking the same faction, obviously you're not going to get the best picks, because Team 1's going to pick the 6 best. Say you go for Axis, they're going to pick the best 6 divisions that they think are the best 6. Then you're going to get the next 6 after that. Then on top of that, you'll be able to ban 2 divisions from their selection, and they'll be able to ban 2 from your selection. So effectively, you'll be getting what would be generally considered much weaker teams, weaker divisions, if you're going for a mirror faction. But it does allow for mirror factions, because some people only like to play certain factions, so that's why it's there. It's kind of best of both worlds. Not going to please everyone completely, but it's a compromise, really. Then Team 1, the away team, picks 1 from the remaining 4 selected divisions and chooses its income. So they have to make the first pick. So then Team 2 can counter pick with its 2 divisions and incomes, and then finally the away team gets to pick their final division and their income, of course. Alright, and as noted here, yeah, this is the setup. Yeah, allow spectating. That's just generally what you should do, because it's nice for people to watch your games if they want. Yeah, capture the flags. Deployment mode, meet and engagement. Starting resources, it's 750, but the home team can change it to 500 if they wish, as long as they made sure at start. Income ×1, initial cohesion normal, time limit 50 minutes. That's it. And in case that sounds a bit confusing, I've done an example in here where they've done a mirror faction, and the conclusion at the end. Now, for the lower tier divisions, we have this handicap system in place. I'm gonna need to tweak this once I know how many teams are going to be involved, and whether or not if it's going to go ahead, we will see exactly. Like I said, there's already 2 teams in the Americas region and the Europe region who have signed up for this. So this is going to go ahead no matter what, the lower tier divisions. But if there's only 2 teams involved or 3 teams involved, then I'm going to create a campaign system instead. But there has to be a minimum of 4 for this to work well enough, to be honest. And how this is going to work is the handicap system. I've mentioned it before. After you've all played each other once, so say there's 5 teams in the division, and you all play each other once, so you played 4 games, and then you go again and you play each other a second time. Now, from the first round of games, if you won all 4 games and you play against someone who only won 2 games, so you've got a 2-win advantage over them, then they will get a handicap advantage, which will follow these kind of procedures. Again, it will be refined a little bit. I'm going to wait until we see how many teams are going to be involved. So difference of 5 wins. So say, for example, we're having 6 teams in the league. So if someone's got 5 wins and they're playing against someone with none, then your opponent picks any map and chooses any division for themselves and their opponents. So yeah, it's a pretty heavy handicap there. I mean, obviously, if you've been playing, you've got beaten by every single team in the league, and you're coming up against an opponent who's beat every single team in the league, then you're going to get a huge advantage here. Again, you're probably still going to lose if you're that bad, but it might help you out a bit if you can give them some like really trashy divisions, really screw with them a bit. Then it might work out to your advantage. And again, as the season has gone on, you've stuck at it. You've played 4 games. Maybe by your 4th game you lost it, but you're improving a bit. So you can still make a comeback in the second half of the season. And you will keep this handicap advantage throughout the rest of your games. Meaning that once you've played your first round of games, you played it everyone once, then it's set in stone what the handicap is for each team. So one team might have 4 wins, another might have 2 wins, another just 1. And so as you play against each other a second time, they will stick as they are. So there'll be a 3-win difference, a 1-win difference, etc., etc. And yeah, after one round difference of after one round difference of 1 win, it's no effect. Okay, this might change slightly. It depends if there's just 4 teams involved, and I think some of the teams are much better than the others. I will kind of make a snap judgment about that and see how it goes. Anyway, that is that. That is that. What else do I need to mention? Let me think. I think the only other thing I need to do is this. Woohoo! 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 It's going ahead. It's going to happen. And yeah, this is the old shot I had before. I think we're still at round about the same. There's lots of people asking about it. When's the final sign-up date? But they've not actually been signing up. I think I might have mucked up the form a little bit there though, because I did change something, and I think some people have not been able to click on the sign-up form as yet, or some people are just waiting. And it is going to take place on April the 4th, so it will be easy to schedule for everyone and not clash with the SDL League too much at all. And that is it for now. Again, I'll be back with another update fairly soon in the future, in like 2, possibly, what date is it now? What date is it? That's a good question. What are we on, the 17th? Yeah, so I'll probably, like, just before the SDL League starts, I'll probably be back then, and you know, sort of arrange something with Proto to get double announcement going, kick off the 1v1 league, and also have a quick refresher about what's going on this end of it. Alright, bye bye, see you around.